Power Fact File.
Thank you for staying with us, and it's time for Fact File. Today we're taking a look at repositioning local government councils for effective service delivery in 2019, and it is a production of Yewande Iwoha. Activities towards 2019 elections are gaining momentum by the day, with the major focus of the nation being centered on 2019. On Fact File, we shall also be discussing more on events leading to 2019. Most especially, we shall be focusing on issues and events capable of promoting good governance and effective service delivery in 2019. This morning, the focus is on the grassroots. Presently, how is governance at the third tier of government, and what should be the direction in 2019? We have 774 local councils in the country created to cater for the needs of the communities at the grassroots level. They are to be the means of distributing resources of the country equitably for the socio-economic development of the local communities. They are also to provide platforms for citizens to practice democracy at the grassroots. The statutory functions of the local councils, as stated by the Constitution, include establishment, maintenance and regulation of slaughterhouses, markets, motor parks and public conveniences. Others are construction and maintenance of roads, drains, gardens and other public facilities as may be prescribed from time to time by the State House of Assemblies. The local councils also have the functions of provision and maintenance of health services, as well as to take care of refuse disposal in their domains. Can we say the councils have delivered good governance and discharged all these functions effectively over the years? The feelers have been that of a big vacuum of governance at the grassroots. Most of the roads are bad and hardly can the people access good health care. It's even sad that most people do not know their local government chairman. Governance, as it were, is almost at zero level at the grassroots in the last 20 years. You'll recall that former President Olusegun Obasanjo, at the twilight of his administration, called for the scrapping of the local government system based on the non-performance of the chairman. What are the factors responsible for the abdication of statutory functions by the local government chairman, who have more or less become ceremonial heads? Constitutionally, local governments are funded by the federal government. The funds are, however, routed to them through a joint account with their state governments. Some critics have, however, traced the inefficiency of the councils to these joint accounts, which they allege have been taken over by the governors. 2019 is just around the corner. Which way forward for effective governance at the grassroots? What turnaround do you expect going forward? Earlier attempts was made in the constitutional amendments exercise to grant local councils autonomy and separate their accounts from that of the states, but the move met with stiff opposition from governors. Let's get situation report from your local government and suggestions on the way forward in 2019. Well, that's if you know your local government chairman. For your participation, call 090-6000-7031 or 090-6000-7041. Again, 090-6000-7031 or 090-6000-7041. You can also call 081-11-813029, 081-11-813029. You can leave us a message on Twitter at Ray Power Network. Just before then, let's get to hear from some local government chairmen, their narratives on good governance and the challenges facing them.
My name is Engineer Valentine Olashebremo, Chairman and Board of Local Government. There's high level of poverty in the country. So government and the social and level must assist the grassroots to survive. And that's what we have been doing as a third tier of government, to complement the efforts of both the federal and the state to get to the grassroots level for them to bring the impact of government in their domain. The focus of that government goes across all departments in the area of health, work and infrastructure, agriculture, security, training, education, and what have you. We must do a project that will impact meaningfully to the people. We have to think out of the box by institution and how we can improve on our revenue.
My
My name is Honorable Elisha Chigwami, JP, the Caretaker Committee Chairman, Bogoro Local Government. There should be increase in the funding. The local government could be made effective, would be performing, and would come out to be the best unit of development in Nigeria. We in Bauchi State, our able governor has just recently founded all the 20 local governments, and we are now performing. There are some work that we have started doing, mending culverts and repairing some other things like construction of box culverts and even construction of lock-up shop in Market Square.
My name is Apostolon Timoke. I am Executive Chairman IFACO, Ijariye Local Government. Provision of primary health care centers or equipping primary schools. All these things, you need a lot of funds to implement them. It is not possible for any local government administration to construct all the roads in a particular local government area. So you will do whatever the funds available to you.
Okay, democracy has been described as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, going by this definition of democracy shows that democracy and governance as a whole is should be centered around the people. As a matter of fact, the people are the most important part of governance. But on a realistic view of things, it will be totally impossible for the federal government to reach every locality, to reach every individual, to reach every person, or to be directly involved in every problem or challenge that the people face. And even for the state governments, reaching the people is a rather ambiguous task. Now, this shows how important the local government is. And that's why it may be really shocking to know that most local government chairmen were not willing to discuss the way forward. We tried to reach out to quite a number of them. Well, maybe a few, but then a lot of them, pleaded to be left out, especially not to incur the wrath of their governors. And this leaves us really wondering with a lot of questions on the minds. It's really surprising because the question is the local government part of the state government? Is this local government supposed to be independent as the third tier of government in the country? As we begin the discussion, let's highlight once again the statutory functions of the local government and how well they have been able to carry out these functions in your locality. We'd like to hear from you. Now, establishment, maintenance and regulation of slaughterhouses, markets, motor parks and public conveniences, construction and maintenance of roads, drains, gardens and other public facilities as prescribed, of course, by the state houses of assemblies. The local councils also have the function to provide and maintain healthcare services as well as take care of refuse disposal in their domains. Maybe you didn't know this before now, but now that you do, how effective has the local government or has your local government been in terms of delivering on these functions? Can we say that the local councils have delivered good governance over the years? Also, what turnaround would you expect going forward if we had to put you in a position to draw a roadmap for the local government? What do you expect? What turnaround do you expect? Please feel free to reach us to be a part of the discussion. And joining us now is the Speaker, Bauchi State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Kawa Shehu. Good morning and welcome to Fact File on Radio Power FM.
Thank you very much.
All right, the local government councils were created for effective governance and, of course, all-round development at the grassroots. Looking at the sorry state of the roads and other amenities in our local communities, what do you think, has gone wrong with the local government in terms of discharge of their duties?
In my own opinion, there are maybe 1, 2, or 3 reasons. First is to do with funding, which is fundamental. Secondly, maybe structure. Then thirdly, the political will by the critical stakeholders. What I mean is they are underfunded because the allocations they are receiving, in some instances, if they go independent, some may not even pay salaries. Two, on the part of us as critical stakeholders, is the issue of the real autonomy, which I'm glad, at least as the leader of one of the houses of assembly in the country, that have passed the request that was given to us through the National Assembly So thirdly, maybe it's the workforce. They are overbloated, which is the reason why even if they are getting the grant directly, may not be enough to take care of even the wages surplus of capital projects.
Okay, you mentioned three key areas, and I'd particularly like you to throw light on one, which is the structure. Now, are the duties, the roles of each arm of government not clearly stated in the Constitution? Why do we have a problem of structure?
In my own opinion, because maybe of the past, as I said, most of our local governments, in terms of even staff, they are overstaffed. So as I said, probably even if what is due to them is released, they end up just being settlement of the wages, which may not even be enough. Because in my own state, for instance, there are local governments that if you leave them with what they are allocated, they may not even take care of themselves. So the governors maybe have no option but to use the allocation meant for the all local government in the state and share among all of them so that they can take care of the situation of wages. So what I mean by structure is we have to be realistic. The departments are clearly stated. Employment should be purely based on needs. And we must close our eyes and be courageous enough to do the right thing. Because I'm sure if we allow things to continue the way they are, it means that we will only end up maybe even paying salaries without capital projects. And without capital projects, it means the whole land is defeated.
Okay, you will agree with me that any government that needs to reach the people has to take the issue of the local government really seriously because, of course, that's the closest to the people. So looking forward or looking ahead now, how do we get the local governments functioning again? How do we get them back on track? How do we reposition them for good governance, particularly looking at 2019 and beyond?
Well, the key is for them to go autonomous financially. After which all other things may follow. But definitely we must be ready to face the consequences if we want them to perform. Because even after autonomy, as I said, these observed lapses must be addressed.
Kawa Shehu, Right Honorable Kawa Shehu, we must thank you very much for being with us on Fact File this morning.
Thank you.
All right, if you just joined us, it's Fact File on Rainbow FM. We're discussing repositioning local government councils for effective service delivery in 2019. The phone lines are open now. Let's get to talk to you. And shortly, we'll be joined by the President, Civil Liberties Organization, Igor Akeriga. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Ahmad Muda from Ogun State.
All right, please go ahead.
I want the local government autonomy.
Hello? Hello? Okay, Ahmad Muda, please do call us back. We had issues with that line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Please turn down the volume on your radio.
I'm Timbo Pawoli. I'm calling from Osun State.
Okay, please go ahead.
The issue of local government, it has to be taken seriously. Then, very seriously. The federal government don't have power. Right from Abuja, come and see what's happening in Osun. And talk less of, talk of the local government. And according to the next national constitution, the problem comes that the local government is not free directly from state government. This local government service should be giving, a free hand, the kind of autonomy. To let them operate very well. Come and see the rules. Yeah, rules are, nothing to write them about. Don't know what's happening.
All right, thank you very much. Pointing out the fact that the local governments needs to have autonomy to operate independent of their state governments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, I come back to the phone.
Okay, Ahmad Muda, please go ahead.
So I want the local government to be autonomy so they can carry their work properly. They are very close to the masses, to the people.
Okay, thank you very much, Amadi Mullah, for that contribution. Hello.
Hello, this is Yakub from Dr.
Yakub.
From Dr.
Okay, all right, please go ahead with your comment.
Thank you very much. I think the way out is just simple, but it will be very, very difficult to do. The people that are supposed to enact the law are the National Assembly. If you can remember last time during the constitutional amendment, when they got to a station where they should vote on local government autonomy and then devolution of power, what our National Assembly did as a particular day is a word of endeavor, because they fought it down. They don't make sure that those things pass through. Why are they doing all those things? That because of those governors in the various states, they are the garrison commander of their various states. Because all the money that comes from the federation goes through direct or joint account in the state, various states, which is not supposed to be until they become autonomy as the last dollar right say. But the power really lies on the National Assembly to make sure that they vote and then make sure that those people are autonomous, and then the money comes from Abuja go directly to them. That is the.
All right, thank you very much for that one. Also calling for autonomy on the part of the local governments. We now have joining us the President, Civil Liberties Organization, Igor Akerega. Good morning and welcome to Fact File.
Yes, good morning for having me today once again. Thank you.
All right, the issue of local government autonomy has been recurring in the course of our discussion this morning. Do you think that the local governments functioning independent of their state governments will eventually give us a better results from the local government?
You see, there has been a consistent agitation for local government autonomy in the country, and the constitution is absolute on the rights and the prevalence of the existence of local government. The point to be made is that once there is a constitutional provision, I do not know why Nigerians and the government subjects it to series of debate. The constitution has provided for a third tier of government, which is the local government. And in the last constitutional review, is an issue that went back and forth, and a lot of the governors moved against it, using their state houses of assembly. The point to be made here is that the local government administration in Nigeria is very important. It is compulsory. It is needed. It has been provided for in the constitution. Now, those who are currently running the democratic process in this country are violating the constitution. They are running the country with excessive interest in impunity. How cannot continue in an atmosphere of impunity? So local government is desirable, but I have my grounds with local government chairmen across the country. They have this ALGON, Association of Local Government of Nigeria. That is another arm which I sometimes describe as a court group, where they deliberately underdevelop the structure of government. You go around the country. You cannot see development at the local government level. I think that is why there is substantial loss of interest, even by the community, in supporting local government autonomy. But be that as it may, it is desirable. The Constitution has provided for it, and it must come to be. I am a proponent of local government administration because it is the closest level of government to the people.
Okay.
Which is supposed to, I'm speaking to you, I'm in my community, I'm in a great community, no local government of Delta State. Nothing is happening. The internal rules are bad. Yet we have a local government chairman, handpicked, appointed by the state government, by Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. And that is how it is all about the country. We can continue to run a country on the basis of fraud, on the basis of the sentiment, the whims of that individuals who are pretending to be governors of state. And they must be checkmated. I have always advocated that Nigerians must break their political shackles and be sensitive, be conscious to challenge those that have elected to be in office. You cannot elect people and go to your house and begin to look at the people you have surrendered your sovereignty to, traversing your fundamental rights and behave as if they have become lords. Indeed, those who have elected are servants, while those who are the electors are the masters. They want to come in the country.
here this morning is that local government is able, it is provided for very clearly in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And those who are subverting the Constitution must be brought to book. And they are the governors of the state.
Okay. From the way you sound, obviously you feel that there's a lot of ground to be covered as far as the local government is concerned. Now, if you were to reposition the councils for good governance, what will be your roadmap?
It is very clear. Reposition the local government for optimum performance. What is needed to be done is, first, local government funding should be on first-line charge. It should not be paid into state accounts that the governors begin to dispense stipends to local governments on the basis of what their interest is. It should be on first-line charge from the federation account. Once the budget comes in, you know what the local government has. We have 724 local government. If the funding, if the distribution of funding is going to be in accordance with IDROs, maybe you also have some of the communities and states that are oil producing, the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Commission know how to work that up. But I think where to start is that it should be on first line charge. Teachers, local government institutions like primary health institutions shouldn't be, a priority for federal government and state government. It should be for the local government administration. So that is where to start from. Primary school education, that is elementary education. It should be a responsibility and function of local government.
All right, Igor.
Street community and local community security should be a function of local government. That is how it is in a federation. That is how it is in Switzerland. That is how it is in the United States of America. That is how it is in France. So if we are modeling our governance system, model, along the lines of global standards of democracy, then we must be willing to go the full haul. You cannot cherry pick, take some and leave some. So that's the point.
All right, Igor Akerega, we must thank you very much for being with us on Fact File this morning.
I'm always grateful to be with you. Thank you so much.
All right, that's the President Civil Liberties Organization, Igor Akerega. A number of tweets here. This one says the government should be sincere with the local government and the people there. Most things the local government use to get money has been hijacked by the states. According to the Constitution, the local government is the third tier of government, federal government and local government. But today, the local government is the stooge of the state governors. One of the best things that will make the local government function well is INEC should be the only body conducting local government elections. And this is from Alaba Alakwe. Falalu Ahmed also joins the conversation. It says, as recognized by the Nigerian Constitution as the third tier of government, they should be really autonomous, not a pseudo-autonomy as we have been witnessing today. Okay, Emmanuel Iheme joins the conversation. It says the problem is the people. The people must be ready to rise up against the bad intentions and policies of those they have elected to serve them. The people must shun sentiments. The people must shun bigotry. And the people must stand for what is right. Let's get back to the phone lines and see who we have on the line. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Daniel from Lagos.
Your name?
Daniel from Lagos.
Okay, please go ahead, Daniel.
What I want to suggest is that the local government is not operating well, and for the influence of the state government, we believe that they are not running the local government system in Nigeria as it should be run. Because you do not expect governors to use the local government spending as a tool of manipulation elections in the state. Look at what happened in some local government elections conducted so far. If the governor from the Social Party and the rest of the local government elections will be won by that party. So by making the local government autonomy have to be, the local government funds have to be paid directly from the federal by the federal government. But leaving it from the state government to do whatever they want to do, it's not really helpful.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. We do have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Fidelis is my name.
All right, Fidelis, you're calling from where?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, as a tutor to the 2019 election and the performance, I would like to see a situation whereby emphasis is placed on the team meeting between the federated state and local government and big parties by the federal government and local government, regardless of party colors, to sort out types of differences and cooperation to develop their state. 2, they should have a separate revenue account for the federal government foundation for allocation account. Because they should have joint revenue sharing committee for areas of cooperation. 3, state and local government they should have constitutional power to participate on tax resources at their domain and they meet agreed percentage to the federal federation account. Lastly, the federal government should concentrate on different matters only.
All right. Thank you very much, Fidelis, for sharing your thoughts as far as how we can reposition our local governments for good governance. Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Okechukwu. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Oluwatosi is your name. Good morning.
All right. Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is David West, and I'm calling you from Yenagoa.
All right. Please go ahead.
You see, first and foremost, let me say my problem with the local government is it is so unfortunate that a lot of the governors we have in the state today have turned the local government to be a compensation ground for their political talks. Why do I say so? A lot of the governors don't want to conduct local government elections. Even when Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria makes provision for elected local government chairman and council, we still have caretaker chairman, caretaker this, caretaker that, giving to their political talks. So, in my humble view, I want to say that Section 165, Section 5 of the Constitution should equally be expunged to the extent that the local government must have an autonomy. You see, for Nigeria to develop, it must start from the local government. For me, restructuring they talk about, my own restructuring is give local government more money, more autonomy, and let there be more development in the local government, and Nigeria will be developed. Not this kind of strangulation local government we are having.
All right, thank you very much, David West, for calling. And that's okay. We have time to take just one more call. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Okay, that appears there's no one on that line. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
All right. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Chiposage. I'm calling you from Akute.
Okay, please go ahead with your comment.
What people are discussing, what I are saying, is that the local government can never be good because they did not do genuine election to appoint local government. Because it's only the governor selected people who appoint the local government, so they cannot do anything good for us.
Okay, governors appointing local government chairman means we cannot have it's good at the local government. Well, if you're just joining us, we've been discussing repositioning local government councils for effective service delivery as from 2019. We wrap up with a number of tweets here. This one says, I think the restructuring we need is to scrap local government as an electoral political entity. They should just be administrative. The Constitution, and that's from Ayodele Okunfolami. Samuel Oo says the Constitution, governors are the reasons why local governments fail in Nigeria. Now, I took this message earlier, and I would like to end it on this note. The message from Emmanuel Iheme. It says the problem is the people. The people must be ready to rise up against the bad intentions and policies of those they have elected to serve them. The people must shun sentiments. The people must shun bigotry. The people must stand for what is right. And this is where we get a wrap-up fact file. It must interest you to know as well that we tried to reach out to some of the local government chairmen, and they were really unwilling to discuss the way forward with us. Most of them actually pleaded to be left out, especially not to incur the wrath of their governors. Well, that's fact file for us this morning. We've had a lot of support from Kushi Adams, the head of station Ray Power Gombe. But fact file altogether has been put together by Yewande Iwoha. My name is Oluwatosin Oshin.